Now, granted, if you have a good family that's supportive and they make you feel welcomed and like you're growing, really embrace that and really understand that, bro, you have a blessing. That is blessing, more worth more than money, etc. But like, I love my family, right? But I never thought that, like, you trying to tell, like, you get older and you embracing, like, how much there is to life, and you trying to, like, tell your family, what they could do better, or like, hey, I went on this trip, like, I want you to be motivated too. I never thought that this was gonna be a problem. As crazy as that sound, I grew up, like, when I was a teenager, right? I used to think, like, man, when I go on this trip, my family gonna be inspired. They gonna want to be motivated to do it. I used to always think, like, if I did something, my family would be motivated to do it because they see that someone in their family could do it. But it turns out, like, hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of family members hate on the younger individuals for bettering their life. It's crazy. Like, for example, I have a brother, right? Now, granted, we all have our own lives, etc. That excuse that everybody use, right? But there is an underlying thing where you want to accomplish. Like if a family come to you, right, and they tell you, hey, man, I want to do this, but it requires that, and you know that their actions and their choices in life and their traits doesn't equate to them accomplishing or being able to obtain that, and you tell them, like, hey, I think you should change this, you need to get rid of that, you should stop doing this. Why do family feel like attacked or something? Is it because, like, I'm genuinely asking, I'm not just coming out making a video on some, like, educating you guys. I'm genuinely asking, like, what happened to family? I think it started changing a little bit before 2020, but I do feel like 2020 changed a lot of things. A lot of people cut their family off for beliefs, for the guy in office, for 2020, what happened there. It's so many factors. I don't see a lot of people with their family no more, like the barbecues, the reunions, what I'm saying, like, everybody together at the park. Like, you don't really see that no more, man. And, like, I can't be the only one that's thinking this. Like, a lot of things has changed in life. A lot of things have become different. It's like the thing that we used to value, we don't value no more. Like, we kind of treat family like they're disposable now. And, like, me, I feel like personally what got me to this thought process, like, growing up, bro, I used to always be a people pleaser. And I used to always be this people pleaser to my family as well. Like, I always want to just help out or, like, give money where I could. And, like, I started feeling stagnant. And then when I got stagnant, it's like family kind of move on to the next opportunity or become an opportunist, as I meant to say. But I used to have this guilt, like, if I went on a trip, or, like, if I went somewhere in life that was magnificent, like Egypt, for example, or, like, just moving to a different state, and, like, knowing my family, there's some individuals that always want to accomplish that, and knowing I did it, it's like I never really felt safe talking about my goals or plans to family no more, bro. It's crazy. Like, some friends too, like old friends that you might catch up and they ask you, oh, what you been on? I just be like, work or school. Like, I just don't know where that feeling came from, but, like, some been calling me, like, these past 2 years, like, bro, keep everything private. The things that you accomplish, the goals, the trips, keep all that private. People are not happy for you. And I felt like too, I don't know, man, family is just interesting. I feel like, if you have somebody that is close to y'all, grew up with each other, you should be motivated. Like, you'll think that person is inspired by what you're doing, but some of that inspiration, that should be, like, mirroring or, like, hatred on the low. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hatred comes from admiration and inspiration at first. They admire you and you become on this pedestal, and eventually, maybe if they can't reach that point where you reached, or maybe if they don't feel like confident like you are, it turns to jealousy and hatred, man. And, like, it's dangerous nowadays, man. I lost 2 cousins because they had another cousin that was hating on them. Like, he really came out and killed them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's still, when I think about that, it still kind of gave me this feeling like, damn, bro, label don't matter. Like, somebody, your brother, your sister, it doesn't matter. Like, you can lose your life because of family, and that's where your biggest haters, your biggest hatred will come from family, hometown friends. It's sad to say, but it's true. A lot of people die in their hometown because they have somebody who been there for 10 years and you done been 10 years out traveling about doing your thing, you know what I'm saying, on social media, everybody praising you, and, like, you had that one hater, like, that want to end your life, and that's why I say too, like, I haven't really been feeling safe around my family. I don't no more. Like when I go out there or I go around my family, it feels, it's weird. It's like I never would have thought that. I used to think I was tripping, like, man, something wrong with me. But like it feels like, bro, when I'm like, for example, and I know this sounds messed up, but the last time I was with my family, I was like, damn, like I came from these people. Like I'm like, you know? And it's sad to say, man. I just want to let y'all know that, like, I do know as a man, you're gonna have to go out there and get your own life and get your own family and become, make your own, kids, etc. But this is mind blowing, So if you have family out there, and maybe if you're older, if you're a father, I'm not a father yet, but if you have a impactful voice in your family to help other people feel good, do it. Especially if they're younger, the younger generation, inspire them to have the confidence not to hate on their peers or the people that's for them, that surround them. I think like it's just something that's not becoming addressed anymore, all this hatred and negativity that's starting to pollute our minds as a society, as an individual, as a collective is just crazy to me, and now it polluted our families. Families think crazy about one another, and like we just argue with one another. There's no unity no more, no real vibrant community. And like, they say meet your community outside and choose your friends, but then again, we can't not acknowledge that it is crazy not to talk to your family, but most importantly, like, feel like an outsider to them, but man, it's just a quick video I wanted to talk about, man, and just just something authentic and just real. I feel like these conversations and a lot of the talks and videos that I make are of conversations that's not really being had. It's being hidden or protected, or a lot of people don't want to be honest about it. But I don't know, man. But it's your boy AJ Collins. I love y'all. My name Amasaro is with a 10. It comes from Japanese Sanskrit, but also Yoruba African text when it comes to son of will, son of alignment, and becoming more naturally gifted with helping others. But I love y'all, man. Yeah, very interesting. But take care of yourself, and I'm out.